Basement Politics Unfiltered with Freddy Vazquez. Tonight, the president's majority decision. Good evening, folks. I'm Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Thank you for joining me. If you're joining me tonight, thank you for watching. If you're watching at a later time, good evening. Happy Wednesday, hump day. I was going to come on yesterday. I had every intention to, and I just want to kind of get that out the way why I didn't come on. I almost burnt my house down. Yesterday, I was cooking some ribeye steaks, and I went to put them back in the pan, and it slipped off the whatever you call it, the tonsil thing there, and the oil, splattered, causing a big flame, and it scared the crap out of me. My kids thought it was cool. My daughter said, "Dad, it looks like the Japanese restaurants." I said, "No, it's not hibachi." Daddy almost burned the house down. I did damage the microwave. So I have to get another microwave. But so yeah, I couldn't come on because of that. But luckily, nothing else was damaged. No one was hurt. I'm here to do another podcast. Tonight's episode is titled "The Majority Decision." Reason for the title is because of some sources I've spoken to in a couple of days have been telling me about the reason why Councilwoman Tasha Diaz became the majority leader. But before I get into that, I do want to congratulate Ada Medina on becoming, or she was appointed yesterday, sworn in for city court judge. Latina represent. Shout out to Ada Medina. And I want to show that clip here at her swearing in there. And I think it's very important. Awesome. Congratulations. And I'll play that there really quick.
It's such an incredible honor for me to be sworn in here in the city that I was born, raised, and love. I went to our public schools. I love our city. I came back here after going to college and law school in Boston. I'm just so honored to serve with my fellow members of the judiciary here in Yonkers, serve people. And I just thank you all for coming, supporting me, and being here. This is just, it's almost overwhelming, but it's really for me the culmination of my career. And I hope that I will be here for a very long time. So thank you.
Again, congratulations to Ada Medina, Judge Ada Medina, the new city court judge here in the city of Yonkers, appointed by Mayor Spano. Initially, the appointment was going to go to Tom Daly, but I believe there was some, criticism, some resistance, and there was a change at the last minute. Actually, it was announced early in the morning, and she was sworn in at 12:30 yesterday. But congratulations anyway. She will have to run for election in this coming June in the primaries. So good luck to her, and we'll see how she does. And hopefully I have invited Judge Ada Medina onto the show, and hopefully she'll accept the invite, and I'll have her on, and we'll talk to her here real soon. But again, going back to the reason for the show, sources tell me that initially Tasha Diaz was not the one that the Democratic committee wanted to appoint the majority leader. The majority of the caucus wanted Shanae Williams. And in the meeting between the Democratic committee, which consists of ward leaders, the Democratic chair, Tom Meyer, the deputy, City Council President, Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, shut her camera and mic off and whispered something to the chair. And she said she wanted Tasha Diaz. She felt that Tasha Diaz was the person for the position, and she wanted to make that recommendation. Now, maybe some of you may remember that Tasha Diaz, Councilwoman Tasha Diaz, did thank City Council President Lakeisha Collins Bellamy on Yonkers Voice, saying that it was because of the City Council President that she even put her hat into the race, why she even considered entering her name to be majority leader. And it seems strange that was the decision. Many people question why they didn't feel that she was the right fit, the right person at not the right time. Even myself, I believe that Shanae Williams, Councilwoman Williams, should have been the choice, and apparently so did the Democratic committee. But for some reason, the city council president saw that or thought that Tasha Diaz would do probably a better job and was a better fit, and so she made the almost like the executive decision, and that's what they ended up going with. And again, these are from my sources. This is all allegedly, but that's what I'm hearing. If you also maybe remember, I played the video of Lakeisha Collins Bellamy, the city council president, um, you know, saying that she felt that Councilwoman Diaz would do an excellent job. She looked forward to working with her, and she wanted to, I guess, be positive, and they thought that they're going to get a lot done together, and she was all for it. She was pro Tasha Diaz becoming majority leader, and maybe this is the reason why. Now, was this completely the council president's decision, or was there some influence, or maybe were there other individuals that may have wanted Councilwoman Diaz to become the majority leader, opposing the decisions of the city ward leaders and others in the Democratic committee? What would be the reason to name Councilwoman Tasha Diaz, considering she's a junior council member? Shanae Williams, a much obvious better choice, and nothing personal, no personal reasons. But if you look at their track records, if you look at their tenure, if you see their performance in the city council meetings, you would agree. Shanae Williams is probably the better choice. So, to much of everyone's surprise, Councilwoman Diaz was nominated and was appointed majority leader. I just found that to be interesting. Again, my initial thought was, did that come from the city council president, or was that someone else, other individuals that may have been influencing that, wanting Tasha Diaz in there? And again, was that part of, or was that the reward for voting no on the override of the mayor's veto on the housing ordinance? And I know she hates to have that brought up, and some people have made some excuses for her, saying that well, she didn't like it. She didn't feel like it was robust enough, again, to use John Rubel's words, and she has her own ideas of what the housing ordinance should look like. Okay, great. We're still waiting. We're still waiting. What do you think, folks? Do you think that my sources could be correct? Does anyone know? Has anyone else heard this? Is the reason why city council member Tasha Diaz majority leader because the city council president wanted that to be the case, wanted that to be the decision made? So I guess if that is true, that would be her first, kind of official act, a kind of, a decision making, as the president of the city council. Um, and I just got concerned. That concerns me a bit. That concerns me a bit, because if that is true, also it just makes me questions what else, will we be seeing, and who will be influencing some of the decisions. And again, I don't want to sound like I'm being negative. Maybe I am, but I would love to have the city council president on this show. I would love to discuss that, maybe even ask that question. I've invited her on the show very recently. Still waiting to hear an answer. It'd be great to have her on the show. But yeah, that's according to my sources. Also, it's being talked about a lot. The fourth term. Will they vote for a fourth term? And is that why they wanted Councilwoman Tasha Diaz to be the majority leader. Is that the plan? Well, Mike Breen was all for her appointment. Is he looking for a term extension also so he can remain in the 5th District? Mike Breen and Corazon Pineda were 2 council members who, benefited from the term extensions. It's not just the mayor who got a 3rd term. And if there's another term extension, they will also, benefit, although they say they have to run, right? They don't just get handed the position, but they still have to run. But what are likely the chances that they'll lose? So is this all a setup for a 4th term? How many people would be in favor of a 4th term? I would like to know. I would truly like to know, kind of get a consensus of what the residents here in the city of Yonkers feel about the potential of a 4th term. Is there a petition going around? I have not seen one, although I have heard talks of people maybe looking to create a petition or, get together to protest the possibility of a 4th term. So again, is this all a setup for a 4th term? Time will tell. Again, I have my thoughts. I think that it's possible that's what they are looking to do. Especially, just everything seems to point to that direction. The surprise appointment of Tasha Diaz as majority leader, Mike Breen being all for it, Moranti being all for it, the Republicans being all for it, and Shanae Williams not being all for it. And in her reason, and given her reason why she didn't agree with it, she was very vocal. She didn't hold back. She held no punches. And it makes sense. If you were the intended, choice, and then that decision was, there was an override there, and, it was now given to Tasha Diaz, I can see why she would be that upset. I can see why she would voice her opinion so strongly. She may feel like they stole the majority leader position from her. She feels like she deserved it. But again, Shanae Williams has kind of been on the outs of the system, the machine, as they call it. She wasn't too happy in the incident involving the firefighter and the racial slurs, and nothing truly happening to that particular individual. And in fact, I believe he was promoted, and she didn't like that. And she spoke out against it, and she was very vocal. And I hear that created problems for her and, the power structure, and which is why they supported her in her run for Westchester County Clerk, which she lost. But they figured, listen, we get her out, and we help her move up to another position. And I hear that Shanae Williams, Councilwoman Williams, has some very strong supporters. She has some very strong supporters, and maybe she feels confident in going against the machine. And she knows she's kind of on her way out, especially after what took place very recently. So, yeah, that's the latest from my sources. I have other things, but I'll wait to discuss some of those things. But yeah, that's the latest. According to my sources, City Council President Lakeisha Collins Bellamy made the executive decision and wanted Tasha Diaz to be the majority leader, although that was not the consensus among the Democratic committee. And now they're also talking 4th term. And could this all be the setup? Also, is Rubel truly the majority leader? Some say that he's the man behind Tasha Diaz as well. They wanted to put Rubel in there, but they might have gotten some flack for putting in a male and a white male at that, considering that there were 4 women of color. Although I don't think we should ever base any decision on color, it should always be on merit. Just my opinion. So yeah, it's possible. 4th term. I mean, excuse me. It's either that or find someone that will get voted in. And I think coming into last year, many people had a strong belief that the next mayor was going to be John Rubo. I think over time, I don't know if they feel so confident in that decision, and maybe they think a 4th term would be a better option. We'll see. Time will tell. So putting that out there, we'll see what happens. Also, I do want to, because I'm not going to be on too long today. I do want to just make mention about some things. Again, very recently, I had some people say not to tag. Well, it was 2 people, but I had them say don't tag me on the post on your podcast, and it's fine. One of them is an individual, whatever. I could understand, so whatever. But there was another, Facebook page that told me not to, and I want to just say this. I just want to say this. Keep it honest. Keep it 100% real. I mean, some people just look like appear to be here to be seen, or maybe for the accolades, or whatever, material vanity, superficial reason, and again, I'm not saying this particular page is that's them. I'm saying in general speaking now. But don't say one thing 1 minute and then say something else another. Be upfront, be straight up. Don't hold back. Don't backpedal. Don't go and say, "Hey, I like what you're doing. It's great. I'm glad you're not backing down. Keep doing it." But then you're not going to support what I'm trying to do, because ultimately I'm not simply looking to be famous. That's not my goal. I don't want to be famous. I want to share the message. I want people to hear and be informed, and so I tag people for that reason. The hopes is that if I tag people, it'll go on their page, they'll see it, maybe they'll even share it. What a thought. Right? But I was disappointed because this particular page, and I'm going to say the page, say it that way, I felt that they should have, or yeah, they should have been more supportive, considering that I am champion for causes that I thought they were champion, or they were in support of. The excuse was we're not political page, or we don't do politics, whatever. But that's not necessarily true. And I don't really care what the bylaws say, or whatever. When you champion for the people and you want to create change, you have to somehow get involved politically. It's just no way around it. Just no way around it. And I understand people have relationships, and maybe they don't want to, damage these relationships. My only relationship is with the people, and that should be always the number one, especially if you're an organization that is an organization that's supposed to be fighting for the people. Don't have this moment and then it just dissipates. Be consistent. I mean, I do a lot myself. I get it. We have a lot going on. Trust me. Sometimes I can't make it. I can't do a podcast. I'm burning my house down, or I'm trying to be with my kids, or I'm meeting a client. But I truly am passionate about this, and you have to be consistent. If you want to see change happen, you have to follow through. That also shows who you are, and it shows that you really mean it. You mean what you say. You're not just posting something to look good for the moment. You're not jumping on a bandwagon, but then you're not following through. And then when someone like me is trying to pick up a little bit of it and champion right along with you, you say not to tag you. Okay, and I won't. That's fine. That's fine. I won't tag you. But all I'm saying is that I'm going to call things out like that. If you don't like it, you don't like it. This is not to create problems, but if we're going to create change, we got to keep it real. We got to be all the way real, 1000%. And we can't half step. We have to be consistent and we have to keep pushing forward. So either you support me or you don't. You support the movement or you don't. You support the change that we're trying to create or you don't. You're trying to help inform the people or you're not. And that is one of the biggest reasons why I think there's not enough people coming out to vote, because people are just not informed. People are not aware. People are not engaged enough. So when I tag you, I'm trying to engage you. So hopefully you can help engage others. See, that's the concept. Like my background. That's the concept. But again, I will not tag anyone. I'll just do my hashtags and then I'll keep it moving. And I'll continue to follow through and do my part. Because again, I'm not here to look good or look like I'm some advocate, right? But I really am not following through. I'm just here for the moments. No, it's not how it works. And I'm gonna call people out on that and keep it all the way, as they say, 100 or 1,000. And I just want to mention that because I just think that's whack, as we say back in the day. That's whack. You know what I'm saying? That's whack. You know what I mean? Let's keep it real. You're here to help the people. You have to get involved politically. You have to make your voices heard. You have to, speak out on matters that you see are wrong, and a lot of that has to do with our elected officials. So you have to speak on it. So I don't know how there's a way around that, but that's just me. What do I know? So anyway, that's it for today. I don't have a whole lot. This Sunday, I hope to definitely be back. And actually, soon I'll be having an interview with a well-known elected official, very well known. We were supposed to have him on before, but he got busy. He had to head out to Washington and stuff. So it's a big. I think we're moving up. So I think that it's going to be a great interview. I'll be announcing that more when I have the details all set. So I look forward to that. That's going to be awesome. And again, we're going to be talking a lot about social programs, mental health, drug addiction, education, the important things, the things that really matter, the things that we need to truly be talking about. Absolutely, people united. So it's going to be an interesting show. I may even have my wife join me because my wife, is very well familiar with, social work, social programming, and all that stuff, and mental health especially. And we really want to talk about mental health. It's something that it is being talked more about. I will say that. Let's give a little bit positivity here tonight. And so people are talking more about mental health, and that's great. So let's keep it going. Again, consistency and follow through, especially within the minority communities where we oftentimes shy away from admitting that we may have mental health issues or even drug addiction. I'm going to tell you a story really quick. Actually, it just reminded me. 2 days ago, I stopped at a store I normally don't stop at. Um, I needed to go to the ATM, and as I was at the ATM, a gentleman walks in, someone that I had given some work to. He came, he had worked for me on a couple of jobs, and he was saying, "Hey, how you doing? I haven't seen you in a while." And probably even maybe in his 30s, maybe, and not in the best of shape. Not, his condition, obviously, looked like he was, have had some rough time. He smelled a little bit like alcohol, but he didn't ask me for money or anything like that. He was just, thanking me for w- thanking me for being there for him, like giving him the opportunity to, work and stay focused and stay busy. It was sad because, he was telling me that he was getting ready to enter a drug addiction program. Um, but really was what blew my mind was that he said that he was entering the program with his mom. Him and his mother had become addicted together, and now they were fighting this addiction. And they were looking to go into a program pretty soon. And so it's this is here in Yonkers. It's rough. It's rough. It's tough out there. It's a lot of people are struggling. A lot of people are struggling, and we need to definitely talk more about this. And again, this is why I do basement politics. That just touched me. It just blew my mind, and to say this, he's doing it with his mom. He got addicted with his mother. Actually, they were in the park across the street from the store, just hanging out there. But he was saying that he's going to get himself better and he's going to give me a call. And I told him anything I can try to do to help, I'm there. But we all need to help. We all need to really be vocal about this because it's getting really bad and they're getting younger and there are more homeless people. I go by Getty Square. I see, many homeless individuals standing out there in the cold. And it's sad because I see some individuals that have asked me for help. I've given them my card and they never call, but I see them there and, I see them smoking the K2 and that's really bad. So, just something to put out there. I just want to, mention that, I'm sure many of you are aware of it already, but I'll be talking to, this individual regarding mental health, drug addictions. He's doing big things. He's, secured some funds from the federal government. He's going to be looking to bring this money to the communities, to community organizations in the trenches to help. So look out for that. Check it out. I'll give the details soon. I'm Freddy Vazquez. This is Basement Politics. Have a good night, folks.